Welcome to this special edition of our weekly video training series. This is about the all but one principle and starts with Rule 10. Originally, this video was supposed to be included in our weekly training video as just a segment to start the beginning, but it metamorphosized into something much bigger and much longer and ended up being too long in the introductory phase to be included with our training video. So this is a special installment in our weekly video training series studying the National Federation of High School Rules. And this is the all but one principle. And before we do that, though, I want to mention one quote. It's on the gym where I work out, and this is so fitting, I just wanted to share it with you guys. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. A quote from Henry Ford. I really like that. What we're going to talk about today is we're just going to introduce Rule 10 and penalty enforcement and the all but one principle. And when I say we're going to introduce, we're just going to cover really one part and look at one play. And then next week, we're going to build on it. We're going to build on it all throughout the rest of the year until hopefully we have a much better understanding of penalty enforcement. Types of plays are in Rule 10.3, and they're basically just two. That's a loose ball play or a running play. I want to introduce this concept called the bin or the hopper concept, and this was developed by an NFL referee, Ed Hockley, because of the many different types of penalty enforcement there are with a very, very complicated rule book in the NFL. There's somewhere like 17 or 23 or 25 different penalty enforcement types in the NFL. It's really, really complicated. But this bin concept, where you take the play, put it in the bin, and once you identify the proper bin, that bin will tell you the enforcement procedure. So I like this concept. But for us, it's really simple because we're only going to have three different bins. We're going to have a loose ball play bin, a running play bin, and a statement of penalty play bin. And what I mean by the statement of penalty, let's just look at this in two different ways. A foul is the act of violating a rule, and the penalty is the punishment. So the foul is the crime, and the penalty is the punishment, to kind of relate it into criminal standards. So let's just take a look first here at in Rule 10 with what exactly is a loose ball play. And we find this also in 2.33.3. These are types of loose ball play: a free kick, a scrimmage kick, a legal forward pass, a backward pass, including the snap, an illegal kick, a fumble made by Team A in or behind the neutral zone and prior to a change of team possession. And then here's an important note. The runs which precede such legal or illegal kick, legal forward pass, backward pass, or fumble is or are considered part of the action during a loose ball play. Now I want to talk about something real quick before we move on. And that's exactly, when we talk about play types, we're actually talking about segments of the play in which a foul occurs. Because during a play, and we talk about a play, we're usually talking about from the time the ball becomes live until the time that the ball becomes dead, that being one play. But that play could have multiple, and usually does have multiple segments in it. Let's take a really simple example. The quarterback takes the snap, runs, throws a pass to a receiver, and then that receiver runs and is tackled. In that segment, we had a loose ball play with the backward pass, which was the snap, and then we had a quarterback running with the ball, which is a running play. But then he passes the ball, and so that segment becomes a loose ball play. But by this note, now the quarterback's run between the backward pass and the forward pass that he threw, that run now becomes part of a loose ball play segment because of that note. So now, although we've had three separate segments, they have all become one segment. This is getting a little too complicated. I want to keep moving, though. But then when the receiver catches the ball, the loose ball play ends and a running play begins. So if you have a foul during the loose ball play, you have one enforcement spot or one basic spot. And then while the runner is running with the ball, you have a running play in a different basic spot. Let's keep moving. 2.33.1a, which we mentioned in that, is a legal kick or a scrimmage kick other than post-scrimmage kick fouls, which have their own separate penalty enforcement type. So now let's look at what exactly is a running play, and that's in 2.33.2. And a running play is really simple because it's basically just anything that's not a loose ball play. So a running play is any action not included in Article 1 of 2.33, including the related run in 2.41.9a. Now, the third hopper that we have are statement of penalty plays. And some particular plays have enforcement spots in the statement of penalty. Now remember, the penalty is the price you pay for the foul that you commit. It's the punishment for the crime. So the statement of penalty is the penalty portion of a foul in 10.5.1. The following fouls have special enforcement provisions and options for the offended team. A free kick out of bounds, untouched by the receiving team in 6.1.9. Kick catching interference in 6.5.6. Unfair acts, which are in 9.10. A foul by the opponent of a scoring team on a successful try, that's in Rule 8.3.5. A foul by the opponent of a scoring team on a successful field goal, 8.4.3. Fouls that occur during or after a touchdown scoring play, Rule reference 8.2.2.3.4 and .5. And the three roughings, passer, kicker, holder, or snapper, 9.4, .5, and .6. So understanding these basic play types, now you can begin to look at the basic spots, which are in Rule 10.4.2. And this tells us that the basic spot is the previous spot for a foul which occurs simultaneous with the snap. So illegal formations, illegal substitutions, just a couple examples of fouls that occur at the snap. Also for a foul which occurs during a loose ball play as defined in 10.3.1, which we read, and for 10.5.5 for special enforcement on the roughings, and 10.5.1b for special enforcement for kick-catching interference, and also for a foul which occurs during a down in which a legal kick occurs and an inadvertent whistle ends the down prior to possession by either team. A loose ball play. The basic spot is a previous spot for loose ball plays and for fouls that occur at the snap, just like we said. Now let's look at 10.4.3, and this is the basic spot, is the previous spot where the kick ends when R commits a PSK foul or post-scrimmage kick fouls. This is in 2.16.2H. R fouls behind this post-scrimmage kick spot are spot fouls. And then 10.4.4, the basic spot is where the related run ends for a foul which occurs during a running play as defined in 10.3.2. So now let's just go through this hopper. A running play hopper is a basic spot that is the spot where the run ends for a foul on a running play. The run ending could also be the related run, and that's when we have loose ball following a run, when player loses possession. The basic spot for fouls that occur with statement of penalty plays, free kick out of bounds, KCI, unfair acts, successful tries and field goals, fouls during or after a touchdown scoring play, and the three roughings. These are the three basic spots. And this is really, really important that you identify the segment of the play that the foul occurred. Now let's take a look at this really interesting play. What we've got on this play is the quarterback just takes the ball and scrambles and ends up getting sacked behind the line of scrimmage. What you don't see really on this play, unless you're paying really close attention, is the back judge has a flag on this play for defensive holding. A defender just grabbed the receiver who was trying to get off the line of scrimmage while the quarterback was scrambling and holds him. So we've got a flag down. So the end of this play is the quarterback getting sacked. So now we need to know what type of play this is. There are two segments here. There's the backward pass or the snap, which is a loose ball play, and then there's a running play. And the play ends with the quarterback getting sacked. The foul occurs while the quarterback is scrambling with the ball. So in the foul segment, what type of play did we have? That's correct. We had a running play. So we go back to the running play hopper. And we know that on a running play, the basic spot is the spot where the run ends for a foul on a running play. And that's the spot where the quarterback is sacked. So the foul for defensive holding, there is no special provision in the statement of penalty, so you apply the all but one principle, which means that fouls that occur by the team in possession of the ball that occur beyond the basic spot are enforced from the basic spot. So we just need 10 yards from the place where this quarterback is sacked, and we need to replay the down. Where we get into trouble in plays like this is when we use memory. We just enforce penalties based on our memory of how they're enforced because we watch plays that occur at different levels of the game. And in the NCAA and in the NFL, this foul is enforced much differently. That's it for this week. Next week, we're going to have another installment in this training series on the all but one principle. Thanks for sticking around for it. And also, check out our regular weekly training video series. We're great plays where we see some really good officiating, and we identify some areas where we might can get better. Until next time, this is Todd Allen saying, I hope to see you on the field real soon.